Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to crochet this little bee here. You can add antennas to this if you wanted, but I just didn't in this one. And the pattern is pretty simple. It's basically, single crocheting. You do have some increases in there. This is a half double crochet, and then you do have color change in this, and mine's isn't the best, but I will show you how I color change. So in the next clip I'll let you know what you'll need. First off, I'll be using a crochet hook in the size 5mm, a stitch marker, scissors, fiber fill or stuffing, safety eyes, and I bought these off of wish.com. Lastly, I'm going to be using the 1-pound yarn, and I have it in white, black, and yellow. To begin our project, you want to start off with the yellow yarn, and then we're going to create a magic circle. So for the magic circle, you just want to take your yarn and wrap it around your fingers. So here you have this little X. You want to insert your hook through the circle and just grab this yarn. Now once you pull it through the circle, you can slowly let go of the back and grab it with your hands. And then you want to yarn over your hook and pull through. So once you pull through, just tighten everything up. And that is your magic circle. So you can pull on this side of the yarn right here to tighten up your circle. And now we're just going to single crochet 6 times into the circle. So a single crochet is inserting your hook through the circle, taking some of this yarn, yarning over, and pulling through. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that 5 more times. I currently have 6 single crochets into my magic circle. So to end off this round, I'm going to slip stitch into my first stitch. So a slip stitch is inserting your hook through this first stitch here. You want to grab this yarn or yarn over and just pull it straight through. And that is the end of round 1. So now you just want to take your stitch marker and insert it in through the stitch. For round 2, we're going to increase into every stitch. So that is just 2 single crochets into each stitch. So that's 1. And then my second one into the same stitch. So you want to do that all the way through until you end up with 12 stitches in total for round 2. For round 3, we're going to single crochet into the first stitch. And then you want to increase into the next one. Did I just say increased? Increase into the next one. So that was 1, 2 into that next stitch, and then you're going to repeat that process all the way through until you end up with 18 stitches in total for round 3. Once you finish round 3, this is what it should look like. For round 4 and 5, we're just going to single crochet for each of those rounds, so you should still end up with 18 stitches in both of those rounds. I just finished rounds 4 and 5, and this is what it looks like. So we're going to move to round 6, and for this we're actually going to start our color change. So what I'm going to do is just remove the stitch marker, and I'm actually going to remove this last stitch. Okay, so next you just want to put your hook right back into your little loop, and then we're going to take our black yarn. But first, let's put our hook into the stitch here. You want to grab this yellow yarn. Now I just placed my fingers on the back of this just so it doesn't move too much, and then you want to do the same thing with your black yarn. So just take it behind here just to hold it in place, and then you want to yarn over with the black and pull through both of those loops. So next I'm just going to put my stitch marker back into that last stitch. And that was the color change, but now we want to start crocheting with the black. So what I actually do is I tie the two color yarn together just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere, but you don't have to do it that way. I just like to make sure nothing moves. So I'm going to tie that, and it just helps me make sure nothing moves. So now we can start with our black yarn. So for round 6, you're just going to single crochet all the way through with the black. So I'll go ahead and do a few. And that wasn't too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and do the off camera. Okay, so after I finished that round, this is what it looks like, and it's not like the most perfect seam, but you know what, it's not too bad. For round 7 and 8, we're just going to single crochet, so you should still end up with 18 stitches. And then also, I don't cut my yellow yarn because we're going to use that again, so I just leave it attached here. Okay, so I just wanted to mention one more thing. If you wanted to switch off more with the black instead of having just one stripe, so right here is just one black stripe, you can just go ahead and do 2 single crochets of the black, and then you do 2 more of the yellow, and then black, and then yellow. So whatever you like, whatever you think will look better. But if you're doing what I'm doing, just go ahead and do 2 more rows of the single crochets in black. Once you finish round 11, you're just going to go ahead and cut off the black yarn because we don't need that anymore. So we're going to go back to yellow. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to remove our stitch marker, and we're going to take out that last stitch, and then we'll color change back to yellow. So again, I will show you. You want to insert your hook into this last stitch. It's hard to see because it's black. But then you want to stop there. You want to grab your yellow, yarn over, and then pull through both those loops. And that's going to be the end of round 11. So you want to put your stitch marker back on, and then you want to tie this up if you feel like it's moving too much. And then after that, you just want to single crochet all the way through for round 12. Okay, so for round 9, it was just your color change to yellow and then single crocheting all the way through. So for round 10 and 11, we're just going to do the same thing and just do rows of single crochets. Okay, so this is what our little bee is starting to look like. And now at this point, before we start decreasing here, you can go ahead and add the little face on. So just take your safety eyes and find the right placement you like, and then put on a little smile, and then you'll be done with the face. Alrighty, I just attached the eyes and the mouth, and I realized that I put these way too low, but I already attached the safety thing at the back, so I can't move it. So learn from my mistake. Make sure you adjust it first. And yeah, I just moved way too fast for this. For round 12, we're going to single crochet into the first stitch, and then we're going to decrease into the next one. So a decrease is inserting our hook into the next stitch. You have 2 loops now, so you want to go straight into the stitch right after. Yarn over and pull some of that through. Now you have 3 loops, so you're just going to yarn over your hook and pull through all 3. So that is a decrease. I'll do that one more time. You want to single crochet into the next stitch. After that, we're going to take our hook, insert it into the stitch, pull some of this yarn through, go into the stitch right after, do the same thing. And now you have 3 loops, so we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So you want to repeat that all the way through until you end up with 12 stitches in total for round 12. Once you finish that first decreasing round, you can go ahead and put some fiber fill or stuffing in the inside, and then make sure you don't stuff it too much, or well, if you want to, but it's just going to be a little bit hard to close it up. So for your last round, all you're doing is decreasing all the way through. Okay, so once you finish that row of decreasing, you should end up with 6 stitches left, but if you see that there's still an opening here, you can go ahead and do one more decrease, which is what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to show you how I close it. Okay, so as you can see, I just did my last decrease to make this hole smaller, and what I'm going to do now is I cut off the yarn, the excess yarn, and then I'm just going to take this string and insert it into my loop, and that kind of tightens it closed. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to insert my hook into the other side of where this yarn is, the leftover yarn, and then I'm just going to take that yarn and pull it all the way through. And then to close it up, I'm just going to continue doing that, so I'll do another one here. And this time, I'm just going to, when I pull this through, hold on. Got a little snag there. Okay, so I'm just gonna insert my hook through that side. And then I'm not gonna pull all the way through because I want to take this yarn and just put it in like that to make sure it tightens up. And then with your excess yarn, you can just soak it through into your little bee. Now, once you finish closing it up, this is what it should look like, and we can move on to the wings. So with the wings, you want to take your white yarn, and then we're going to create a slip knot. So the way that I do that is just, I'm going to take my yarn and fold it in half like this. I twist it, and I have this X right here. So with the hand that has the loop, I'm just going to grab this yarn, the continuous one, so not this one that's cut off. and tighten it just like that. Sorry if you can hear my dog in the back, she's over it. Then you want to just tighten this over your hook. And now we're going to chain 5. So a chain is yarning over your hook and pulling through. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So here's our chain. So what you're going to do first or next is we're going to single crochet into the stitch that is not this one closest to the hook, but the one right after that. So you see that one, not that one. We're going into this right here. And you'll do your single crochet. So next we're going to do a half double crochet. So we're going to yarn over a hook first, insert it into the next stitch, grab some of this yarn through. So you have 3 of those loops, yarn over again, and pull through. So you want to do the same thing to the next stitch. So another half double crochet, yarning over, inserting your hook through the stitch, grabbing some of that yarn, yarn over again, and pull through all 3. So into your last stitch, you're just going to do a single crochet. And then now you want to cut off this excess piece of yarn here, and I'm just going to cut it off really quick. Okay, so once you cut off your yarn, you just want to take it and pull it all the way through. And then what I'm going to do is just tie these 2 pieces together. So your wing, it should obviously have a curve. So make sure when you do the half double crochet not to pull it too tight or else you won't have a curve. But now the reason I tied these 2 together is because it's what I'm going to use to attach it to our little bee. So for your other side, just make sure you cut off some yarn as well. And then you want to insert it into the other side of the bee, so, or the wing. So I'm just going to insert my hook through this little piece, taking some of this yarn. And then I'm going to secure it by tying it. That's one of the wings. So of course you'll need 2 pieces, which I have the other one over here. And just make sure when you attach your wings, it's outwards like this. So you don't want it to curve in because that wouldn't make sense. But anyways, you're just going to attach it to the top of the bee. So just attach it there, and then when you have your excess string here, you want to just put it through your bee so it can add a little bit more stuffing in the inside. So I actually just wanted to show you one side of the wing, and I already attached the other 2, but make sure when you place it, well, I mean, it depends where you want it. You can have it out more, but for me, I just put it inwards towards the middle of the eyes. And then what I do is use the black part as how far I want to tie the wings. So after you find your placement, you just want to, soak in your white yarn. And then what I do is I'm just going to tie it like this. And then I'm going to take the back of my hook, and then I'm just going to push down the yarn into my little bee. And then once I finish this, I'll be done with the bee. She's finally complete, and she looks like she's ready for takeoff. Isn't it so cute? So if you followed this tutorial, I hope you really enjoyed it, and I hope it was easy. I'm probably going to turn this into a keychain like I do with all my projects, but isn't that the cutest? It was so easy to do. Oh my gosh. So cute. Anyways, I hope you guys liked the video. Thank you for watching.